Hi guys. Alright, so I wanted to do an introduction video for all my new and old subscribers. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for subscribing to my channel, and I hope that you are here to stay. And I like to get to know my subscribers as well, so I try to subscribe to my subscribers so I can kind of like follow their journeys and stuff, because when I first started out on YouTube community, it was just trying to conceive, and I had just had miscarriage. I was going through a miscarriage, and all like the aftermath of that, and like trying to conceive, and then now mommy and everything else. So for more introduction, my name is Lydia. I go by the name Lily, so if you see like some people comment Lily this or Lily that, that's what I go by. It's just a name that was given to me when I was little. So let's see. I am a mommy of two. I am married to my husband, and I have been married since 2004. The very first person that I ever watched on YouTube was Sasha, Beauty Is in Everything. Her very first video was the first video that I ever watched. And then when she went and talked about when she miscarried and stuff, so I followed her. I was intrigued with like the whole vlogging experience, and then I started seeing other people's videos, and I just started making videos just to follow my journey. The very first video that I have on my channel was right after I got back from Mexico. I had just gotten back from Mexico, and you know what? I think actually, is it when I just got back from Mexico, or was it a couple weeks before I left to Mexico that I started my channel? I'm gonna have to go back and look, but so that was in 2009 that I started vlogging, but I have had my channel for many years. I can break down because a lot of people ask me, or when I enter in giveaways, if I ever win a giveaway, they're like, I don't understand what the thing behind her name is. So I guess I'll break it down for any of those that are interested. So Liddy Sank 21. So I came up with this username back when I was in high school. It was right before I got married to my husband. So that's why the Sank is in there for part of my last name, which is his last name. So Liddy, my first name minus the A, and then Sank for my last name, and then 21 because 21 is my golden birthday. So that's just how I came up with that, and I've just never changed it. Like a lot of people just change their YouTube name and stuff like that. I don't. I mean, it's what makes me me. On Facebook, I have a page, Liddy Sank 21. I also have another page, SANCHEZ Expressions, which anytime that I like do some crafty things, sometimes if I remember, I'll post them there. So feel free to, and then there's always links down at the bottom of my videos of like my social media. So feel free to follow me there as well, because I try to go on there when I remember. I'm trying to make it a point to do it all the time. I always have an email address down at the bottom of my videos. Just recently I put that email address there about 3 months ago. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, if you guys don't feel like you guys don't want to answer, you guys don't want to put them in the comments, go ahead and put it, email me, and I can just reply back to you. It's synced up to my phone, so I can get that, or I can make a video if it's something like more in depth. If, like, say for instance, if you're trying to conceive and you have questions on this, and I can come on and do videos of this. If you have personal questions and you don't want me to make a video, just let me know. Like, just let me know. I'm trying to do with this channel, I'm trying to do kind of like advice type of thing, and just take this channel and see where it takes me. I was kind of thinking about separating my channel, but I really don't want to do that anymore. I think I'm just going to keep it the way it is. So anyways, so that's a little just about me. I am 30 years old. I have, like I said, I have 2 kids. I've been married since 2004. My husband's name is Manuel, and he will be 33 on our wedding anniversary, April 30th. Sorry if I keep looking out. I'm in the parking lot, and somebody just pulled up behind me. Oh, okay, they're donating. So anyways, so we've been married for 12 years this year, and let's see what else. I met him when I was 17. We were working at Old Country Buffet together, and we met. I guess I'll go and like break it up and do love story, like how it all came to be the way that it is, but not right now. This is just an update or like an introduction to my channel. So I've had 5 miscarriages. When I started my YouTube channel, I was part of the grieving my miscarriage group, and then like community and mommy community, or not mommy community, trying to conceive community. So I actually excuse me, I actually had 5 miscarriages. Like I said, I had my very first miscarriage in May of 2005, and then in May of 2006, or sorry, May 2005, I had my first miscarriage. Then September 2005, I had my second miscarriage. Yes, so it was May and September of the same year. And then 5 years I didn't get pregnant. I couldn't get pregnant. I was like tracking cycles and everything, but you know, nothing ever was a red flag that I couldn't get pregnant. And there was no reason why I couldn't stay pregnant. And I had no doctors. No doctors were like really pushing to find out the reason why. Afterwards, in 2009, my brother-in-law passed away. So one of my husband's younger brother, he left to Mexico because he was living here with us, and he left to Mexico to be with his family, you know, to be with my mother-in-law and my father-in-law and stuff like that. He ended up passing away, so he left December 10th of 2008, and February 8th of 2009 he ended up passing away. So just at 2 months of being there, a little bit shy, a couple days shy of 2 months of being there, he passed away. So he was a big part of my life, and to lose somebody that close was very hard because he was like my partner in crime. I used to go to him and talk to him about everything. Like, I had friends, you know, people that I consider very close friends, and I talked to my husband, but he was the one that I can just go to, and he was actually he is actually the reason why my son's name is Arturo. When, let's see, we moved to Texas, my husband and I moved to Texas 2008. It was May of 2008. We were down there a couple months, and then hurricane came and we came back. It was like 2008 or 2007. 2007. My brother-in-law came home one day, and he tells me, he goes, you know what? He goes, I'm never going to have kids. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, 'cause I was only 10 months older than my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law's birthday is December 29th, and my birthday's February 21st. I'm like, how you? Come on, dude. Like, seriously, I was like, Boncho's his nickname. I was like, how are you not gonna have kids? I'm like, we're both the same age. We're both gonna be little badasses right now. And then the day that God gives us kids, you know, that God gives me a child, and then gives you, you know, you find somebody and you have a family with them, our little kids are gonna be little badasses too. Sorry for the language, but you know, little bad people too. Like, we are, like, just crazy. He's like, no. He goes, I have this feeling, you know, I know, I have it in my heart. I know, I want your first son to be named after me, Arturo. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he always liked the name Cristian Arturo, and I was like, okay. So ever since then, I had promised him that my very first son's name would be after him. And he passed away, and I went to say my final goodbyes to him. I leaned in and I told him, like, whispered to him, that if God were to bless me with a son, my son's name would be Arturo, Cristian Arturo or Elisa Arturo. So, why is this person parked right in front of me? I don't know. So yeah, so we, so where's that at? So that's 2009. I ended up going through just a severe depression through the years, after having my second miscarriage, to having to lose my brother-in-law. And then in 2010, I found out I was pregnant in May, and I ended up miscarrying again in around the same time that I miscarried the first time. So May is a hard time for me, a very hard month. So I miscarried again, and that was my third miscarriage. And I was done. At this point, I was done with just being depressed, crying all the time and everything, and that's how I became a religious education teacher the first time. It was in August. I went to church and May, June. Actually, it was in that happened. June I had my DNC, and then I was on bed rest. Like the doctor didn't want me to do anything for a couple weeks. And then July, I started going back to church because I took some time off, and I was done crying at this point. I wanted to move on with my life. Not really move on, because you never move on with stuff like that, but I wanted to really do, really, like, take my journey to a different level. So I went and I did that. Why is this car parked in front of me? I don't know. So I did that, and I lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. So I went to church, and Skip, which was the director of religious education at that time, had just came on into the church, and she introduced herself. And that very day, I knew I wanted to do something in the church. I knew, because she was looking for catechists. I knew it was something that it was my calling, and that's how I became a religious ed teacher. I ended up getting pregnant. Rewind. So I ended up becoming a religious education teacher. Then November of that year, the same year, 2010, it was Thanksgiving Day. I went to a Starbucks that was close to my parents' house, and I ended up meeting this girl named Heather. May she rest in peace. Because of her, I applied for Starbucks. Because of her, I was working at the Starbucks that I met my OB that helped me get pregnant with the kids, and that was the only one that really was sincere and really did a lot of investigation and sent me for a lot of testing and stuff, and brought me to where I am now of being a mom. Because I honestly think that things happen in your life for a reason. And him coming into my life, Heather coming into my life to telling me to apply, and for me to work at her sister's store, at a store not too far from where her store was at, and for me to meet my doctor, was meant to be. I ended up getting pregnant. I had my first appointment with him in March. I ended up getting pregnant with Aleda in May. Aleda was born in January of 2012. 2012, baby. And then I ended up I had Aleda, and then at 18 months old, or a little bit before 18 months, like Aleda was like 16 months, I went back with Dr. Cassidy, my doctor, and I told him that we wanted to have another baby, because we tried so hard to get pregnant after Aleda. Like literally, like right away we started trying and stuff, and when it wasn't happening, we ended up going back to my doctor, and he put me back on Clomid, because with Aleda I got pregnant with Clomid. In order for me to stay pregnant, I have to be on blood thinners when I'm pregnant, and progesterone, and so many things that I have to be on, baby aspirin, and to be monitored, because I'm a very extreme high risk pregnancy. We never knew why I miscarried. No matter what, we never knew why I miscarried. So I ended up getting pregnant with Arturo when Aleda was 18 months old. I had Arturo in March of 2014. Then 2014, I ended up getting pregnant again in June. I ended up finding out I was pregnant. And it was a big shocker, because we didn't think anything was going to happen, because I didn't get pregnant with Arturo right away. I didn't get pregnant. We tried with Arturo. We really, really, really tried. After I had Aleda, we really tried for months and months, and it wasn't happening. And then finally, I had to go back and get the help. So when I got pregnant again, it was a huge shocker, but as soon as I found out, I had blood tests and everything to get done, and unfortunately I ended up miscarrying at 6 weeks and 1 day. So that was my fourth miscarriage. And then in December, December of 2015, last year, I ended up finding out I was pregnant. found out I was pregnant on Christmas Eve. I ended up miscarrying on the 27th of December, so a couple of days later I ended up miscarrying. Around the time that my mom was in the hospital, she was admitted in the hospital, and my dad, 2 days later, or a day later, was admitted into the hospital with his freak accident at work. So that just brings you all the way up to where I am now. I am a proud mommy of two. My husband and I want to hopefully add to our family. I'm praying that, you know, when the time is right, we will be able to. I'm scared to death too, because with my miscarriage, or my pregnancy in 2014, right after when Arturo was a couple months old, I was on progesterone, I was on the blood thinners, I was on everything I was supposed to be on, but I ended up miscarrying anyways. So I'm scared to death to find out like what's gonna happen. I don't know how. I really don't know what's gonna happen this next time. I'm hoping that this next time we'll just go in and talk to the doctor and just get on Clomid again and just get monitored again, like from the very, very, very beginning before we even get pregnant, so all the way through the pregnancy if we're blessed with another one. I'm just scared to death that it's just gonna happen again. But that's just a gist. Right now I'm just a mommy vlogger. I vlog when I can. I'm trying to get back into vlogging all the time, because I used to vlog tremendously. Like every week I used to put up 2-3 videos, and I'm trying to do that again this you know, with my channel. I'm trying to do mommy reviews. I don't know how to go about doing company sponsored reviews, so at this point I'm probably just gonna, anything that I use, I'm just gonna review it and give my honest opinion. With anything that I would be reviewing, I would be giving my honest opinion. So yeah, so if you guys are still interested, or you know, hopefully you guys stick around. Again, like I said, I mean, I've been through miscarriages, I've been through depression, I've been through tremendous losses, I've been through so much in my time. That's why I was so excited. I'm so excited to get the years of the 30s, you know, started on a fresh note, because in my 20s I had three of the five of my miscarriages, and I lost my brother-in-law, and I, you know, in my teenage years I lost one of my best friends, and I had 2 miscarriages. You know, like, starting my 30s was, to me, was another way just to get a new clean slate. So hopefully you follow me along in this journey. Again, all my social media will be down below, my Facebook pages, as well as an email out there. So if you guys are looking for any advice or have any questions and you guys really don't want to put them down below, go ahead and email them to me, and I will do a video when I can. Actually, I'll do a video right away as soon as I get it, or I'll respond right away as soon as I get it. Alright guys, I will talk to you later.